It's a pleasure to be back on stage. I spoke at Affiliate World Europe in Barcelona about the insides of a $60 million YouTube campaign. But today, we're going to talk about how you can learn to scale from 10K a day offers to 100K a day offers. In the recent years, I started being a bit more public about my results with my partners on social media. And the usual question was, how do you get to $100,000 a day? And what offers do you run? Well, today we're going to cover everything so you can learn how to scale to $100,000 a day. Briefly about me. My name is Micol. I'm 25 years old. I started affiliate marketing at the age of 12, and now I do full-time affiliate marketing and I teach affiliate marketing. And Scalers is a group of companies co-founded by me and my partner that's sitting right here. And we spent over $60 million in ads and generated over $100 million in revenue. So shit, it's real. And this conference right here was my first Affiliate World conference ever. In fact, this is me. Not the best picture of me, but it was on this rooftop, Red Sky Bar in 2016. And back then, as I started, I had one recurring thought in my head, which was, what is the biggest thing that I can do in the affiliate marketing space? And back then, I actually thought I had it. I was running mobile apps on Facebook in Italy with a few other partners, and we had some good days in profits. We had $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a day in profits. The only downside of that is that we had long hours. It was very intense and time-consuming. We were dealing with shitty products, not gonna lie, and we had even worse customer feedback, and I decided to quit after a few months because that was not what I wanted to do. So the next thing I tried in 2017 were gadgets. I thought e-commerce was something really cool. So I co-founded a company named Tricom, and our aim was to focus on e-commerce strictly in Europe, in India, and in Southeast Asia. And we were using Facebook as a traffic source. First thing we did was drop shipping. After a few months of struggling and not really understanding what we were doing, we managed to get $10,000 to $20,000 a day in revenue in a stable way, which is not too much if you do drop shipping. We had a team of 15 to manage and a lot of product testing to do. So that was pretty expensive. In fact, we had low profits. Usually we would break even, and actually I ended up losing money on drop shipping. So we decided to do another attempt, which was cash on delivery. So we decided to focus on gadgets in India, in Italy, in Spain, in Thailand. And the usual price would be like 30 to 40 bucks. And the marketing margins are not too high if you're selling for this cheap. So we're talking about $20 margin, more or less. And the top days look like this. So we had like $10,000 to $30,000 days in revenue, I want to mention. So not great, because I still wanted to go to the next level. So then we tried India. The population is super big, and marketing costs are super cheap there. In fact, we would get 300 to even 1,000 leads a day without doing much effort. We would just take the ads that we had in Europe, import the product in India, and then start marketing in there. The CPAs, again, were super low. It's a blue ocean. There's not much competition there, so it's very easy to scale. High profits, but horrific logistical experience, because it's very hard to deal with Indian customs and logistics there. And cash on delivery, for the ones who don't know, is you order a product online, you don't pay for it yet until it gets to your door, and then you pay in cash. And the logistic company pays you via wire afterwards. So after 3 years of working on Tricom, we had $10,000 to $30,000 days, which is awesome, but the profits were pretty low. Pretty big team, working way too many hours, 10 to 15 hours per day. And it was very hard to forecast any stock, because if you deal with gadgets, it's very viral. You know, one day it works, the next week it goes down. So sometimes we wouldn't have enough stock to fulfill the demand, or the opposite. We would have too much stock, and then we would have plastic gadgets sitting around at the warehouse. Too many products, too many headaches, and it just didn't work for us. So I went back to the usual question, my dream that I had when I was 18 years old. What is the biggest thing that I can do in affiliate marketing? And more importantly, how can I go from $10,000 a day to $100,000 a day and keep it stable? So I understood by doing all these things in these 4 years that I just mentioned that some approaches are limited due to operations. So we're talking about the team, or the partners we're working with, or the logistics, or the geo size, the country size. or the products. Because if you promote shitty products, you're gonna have issues and you're gonna have to deal with them. And you can't force things. So a low quality gadget in Italy might get you to $10,000 a day, but it's very hard, if not impossible, to get it to $100,000 a day in a stable way. Same thing in the US. If you do a low gadget there, you might have a cool spike for a bit, but it's very hard to keep it stable. And you can do $20,000, $30,000 a day, still not there at 100. And in India, without the right partner, we couldn't get it to $100,000 a day. So I noticed that out of all my tries, all my attempts, we had the same things in common. So the same things were low margins. We had the same country sizes, more or less from 20 to 60 million in population. We had bad quality ads and low quality products. So there are two big problems in our industry. The big problem that I see in this industry is that the majority of the products are terrible. And that makes us look bad. Because when I talk about affiliate marketing in an interview or in a podcast or with other business people that are not in our industry, they usually associate affiliate with something fishy or scammy. And we are responsible. In this room, we have the best media buyers, the best affiliates, the biggest networks, and we choose to pick the bad products in exchange of profits. But actually, if we want to get to the next level, we need to choose the right products. Something ethical, something that is not scammy, something that is white hat and it has longevity. But this poor product picking derives from another problem, which is the second problem, which is affiliates get stuck in the process. We tend to repeat the same mistakes over and over. We're expecting different results. We work way too much. We overthink, and eventually we start losing clarity. We don't know what we're doing, and it happened to me many times in the process because I'm launching many campaigns. I see these screenshots of, I don't know, some famous affiliates posting these $200,000 a day on Black Friday, and I want to get there as quick as possible, so I'm trying to stress all my life in order to get there as quick as possible. And guess what? I don't enjoy my life anymore. I'm just addicted to the game, and I don't progress as I would. So in 2019, I decided to do an experiment. And I decided to work less, focus more on my health, and enjoy my life a bit more. And in fact, this is us in Phuket, me and my partner Ralph's training for a month straight, Muay Thai, doing 2 to 3 workouts per day, working just a few hours, and enjoying a bit the weather. And during that month, it was so important to work less because I could finally get some clarity over what I was doing all day for the past 3 to 4 years. And I realized that I could never get to $100,000 a day if I kept doing what I was doing. In fact, I want to quote a guy that you might know. His name is Albert Einstein, and he says that insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. So in 2020, I decided to do something different. I decided to go for a red ocean, a competitive ocean, which is the United States. And as an experiment, I would just work a few hours per day to see if I could have better ideas. And 6 months later, we started having our first $100,000 days in revenue, and not only, we started even having our first $100,000 a day in profits. And life started looking a bit like this.
We move fast. We build, scale, and invest in brands we believe in. We scale together. We are scalers.
All right. Let's cut to the chase. Checklist for $100,000 a day offer. Take a picture of this because we're going to cover these topics, and I want you to take notes after the speech so you remember this. We're going to cover the geos that are possible, the countries where you can do these $100,000 a day, the platforms, the ad formats, the top verticals, the payouts, and also we're going to understand how to build a relationship with our partners. So starting from the country, take a look at this chart. So the top countries are China, US, Japan, Germany, UK, South Korea, so on, in e-commerce by sales this year. So it's an updated stats from Statista. I want to focus on the first 2 countries because they're significantly bigger than the other ones. First is China. China is by far the leading country when it comes to e-commerce sales. We don't run there, unfortunately, because I don't really speak Chinese. I have problems in getting in the market. I don't really understand it too much, but if some of you in this room have more knowledge about it, I'm happy to speak about it after the speech. Then there's US, and US is the second largest country by e-commerce sales. So when it comes down to pick a country where to run your offers or affiliate products or whatever you're doing, which country will you pick between these? Will you go for Italy, which has 60 million people, or will you go for United States, which has 330 million in population? And obviously the answer is pretty clear. I would stick to US, because why try to crack a smaller country if you can crack the biggest country on earth in terms of e-commerce sales? And not only. In the US, there's a 70% credit card holder penetration. That means that 7 out of 10 people own a credit card. And out of those 70%, 75% have bought a product, at least one product online. So it's a super good opportunity to start running in the US compared to any other countries. It's just time consuming to even deal with the other ones. So in my experience, when it comes down to ad platforms, I can only see 100K a days on platforms such as Facebook and YouTube. I heard some other people like my partner doing 100K a day on native, but he couldn't keep it as stable as you can on Facebook and YouTube for now. Things are changing. But for now, this is how it is. So to keep it very short and simple, focus on Facebook and YouTube if you want to aim for these big days. Content is king, and it's becoming more and more important. And I see in the affiliate industry, many people are copy-pasting their ads, and it's really not getting us forward. So we need to learn how to create good content. And the two formats that I see the most when it comes down to $100,000 a day campaigns are hero videos, so a few-minute videos of someone explaining the product in a humorous way and selling the pain points and the solutions of it. And the other one is a video sales letter, usually a bit longer, 10, 20 minutes. We sell the product way more. And these formats can really sustain all the ad spend, because it's very hard to stress the audience with such a long video. And I spoke about it actually in my previous talk, and I hope I will speak about it in the next talks a bit deeper about how you can create these videos. But these are essentially the ad formats that work. So if you have an offer and you want to scale this hard, you should always ask the advertiser or networks, whoever you're working with, if they have these in place. Because otherwise, you need to create them from scratch. It's pretty complicated, but if you do so, you can have good success with it. And now the top verticals, the $100,000 a day verticals, take a picture of this too, because we're going to need it for later, are lead gen, financial newsletter, Nutra, content arbitrage. Before Hen Keenan had a speech, his company does a lot of content arbitrage, and they hit $100,000 days, and feeds arbitrage. And I want you to take a look at this chart. So, as I mentioned before in my speeches, scalability and payouts are correlated. And in this space, the highest payouts are usually financial, Nutra, content arbitrage, lead gen, and then we have the gadgets, which are kind of in between, because it depends where we're running, at what price, and the scale, in fact, is not as high as Nutra or financial, and not as low as sweepstake or black hat offers. By the way, I don't want to cover any black hat offers, so some of you are doing good there. I don't really care, because I don't want to have headaches with the ad platforms. And here, at the bottom right, there are all the junk, I would call it, and the scammy offers that are very popular, unfortunately, in the affiliate space. And payout is the horsepower of our campaign. So usually it's not a straight line, but the higher the payout, the higher the scale possible. And to give you a rough idea of what to expect in terms of payout in the United States for these verticals, take a picture of this too. Financial newsletters are usually around $150. Nutra, if you want to make it work, you should need at least $85 payout. Lead gen varies a lot, so I don't want to speak about that. And gadgets, therefore not so scalable. Usually they're $10 to $16 in payouts. So if you want to take a look again at this chart, it's a combination of things. It's not just the payout, it's also the geo you're picking, it's the video ads quality, and all together. What 99% of affiliates are doing, they're right here. So focusing on low-tier countries, bad products, because that's just more accessible, unfortunately. Like, all the networks have lower-end offers, so it's harder to get them. But 1% focuses on the right verticals, because they understand the game, they understand that that's a better scale, and 0.1% does the 100K a days, which is harder but not impossible. And that's exactly where we're trying to be all the time, not deal with any other products. So I want to ask you a question. Where are you in this chart? Because I'm sure everyone is running something here in different niches, And the question I want you to ask and to be aware of, are you running a 10K a day type offer or a 100K a day type offer? By now you should have clarity, because I just showed you the chart. As I said before, we can't force things. So we can't scale to $100,000 days with a gadget in Italy. So where are you right now? Building relationships with partners. I want to share a story. We had an issue roughly a year ago with one of our partners, one of our brands that we're promoting, and they couldn't track back all the sales that we were generating. So we had a problem because we were not making as much money, so we couldn't even scale as much. But in order to make up for it, they decided to do one nice thing. They took the average conversion rate of the past month, applied it to the new month, and just paid us more than $100,000 more on top of our commissions as a simple, I'm sorry. And that's a great place to be in, because we build a relationship over time by giving a lot first and by delivering a lot of results. So one thing we need to do is to under-promise and over-deliver. It's a cool background. And another story I want to share, by the way, is we started working with an agency at the beginning of this year, and we told them that we would start spending $1 to $2 million per month. They were like, okay, sure. So we started. After a month, we were spending $1 to $2 million per month, and they were surprised. They had a problem with us, with the ad accounts that we were getting from them. And they were like, yeah, but we didn't expect you were doing this much. And we took a screenshot of the messages, and we told them, we told you so, we told you we would. And they went like, yeah, but all the affiliates are always over-promising and under-delivering. Because everyone in marketing is always blasting their numbers and exaggerating them in order to get attention. But that's a wrong strategy, because then if you don't match the expectations, you have an issue. So the smarter thing to do is to under-promise to your partner and then over-deliver. And once you deliver consistent high volumes, my number one tip is to try to attempt to get exclusivity. And exclusivity means that you are the only one, the only affiliate running that offer on that specific platform, or in a better case, on every platform. That means that if you start working with a network and you start getting good results, there are other affiliates running the same product, which is competition. They might copy your ads, the landing pages, or they're simply just running on the same audience, and you're just competing with them. So if you have consistent high results, you could ping your affiliate manager or your brand owner or whoever and have the conversation of like, hey, I can do more if you start working with one affiliate instead of with 10 affiliates or 20 or 50 on the same product. There are benefits even for them, because they need to deal with less affiliates and they deal only with one. And the one affiliate does much more or as much as the other 50 affiliates combined. But before asking this, we need to remember to have empathy. And empathy is super important. It's something that I think we lack sometimes. You know, we focus on our goals, on our profits. We forget that we're working with real companies, with real humans that are hardly working to make us scale more. So what we need to do is to understand the company needs, and it's very beneficial to ask what their goals are. So we always try, me and Ralph, to understand what they need before asking anything, because we want to help them achieve their goal. We need to understand that this is a long-term game. So if they don't make money, we don't make money, and vice versa. It's not sustainable if we try to squeeze the best payout possible and they don't make money. They will stop the traffic at some point. So what we usually do is we ask for their average order values or the lifetime customer values, because we want to understand where we're going, if they're working on the back end, if they're improving these numbers. So before even asking to have a better payout, we want to see that if over time the average order value is going up, means they have more margins, means we could scale more if they paid us more. And in a good relationship, what should happen is they automatically give you a payout bump without you even asking. But in case, if you want to approach this conversation, you should work on their company goals and understand them, and then also give them tips on how to improve. For example, you could check their funnels out and give them tips on what to upsell and to increase the order value. And something that we keep forgetting very often when we're caught up in the process is to be patient. I learned to be patient over time and to let things figure out themselves. And I learned that the best way to receive is to give. So we always need to remember to give before we ask, because it's super rewarding. Karma, as you want it. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and make sure to follow me on Instagram. I will share more stuff there. I keep educating, entertaining, or not. So scan the QR code, and I see you next time.